Hi, I'm Sherry Amon. And I'm Sarah Taylor. In March of 2011, my mother and I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. It took a lot of preparation and hard work, but the experience was worth every minute of it.
And this is our story. Sarah and I are getting ready to hike Mount Kilimanjaro, a mother-daughter hike.
We are climbing Mount Kilimanjaro.
Their kids are helping Mom and Grandma get ready for Mount Kilimanjaro, so we're hiking on Jefferson Trail today, and we brought the whole family along. We knew we were healthy and fit, but this would be very difficult and dangerous. The rate of success for all age groups is only 50%, and 6 to 8 people per year die trying.
Only has like around the ski mask opening so that I can put the ski mask over it. And nothing. You will be so warm.
We're going to have a backpack, and in the backpack goes everything we need for the hike, because we may lose the airlines might lose our luggage. So that means I have to start my hike with something like a safari shirt, and then these convertible pants, and then a short sleeve t-shirt.
This is the bag that the porters are going to carry, and we weighed it this morning. It weighed 32 pounds. I've got these types of bags, my underwear and my socks, Kleenex, and you know, I have a Summit Day bag that has like my ski goggles if I were to need them, and also a headlamp, you know, at nighttime with extra batteries, and we've got our digital video recorders. On our trip we can document all of our thoughts so that when we get back home we can write a book.
After trying on all our gear to make sure it was coordinated and fit properly, we packed our bags and were ready to go.
The trip took us from St. Louis through Ethiopia and finally to end up at Mount Kilimanjaro Airport.
It's amazing. I think our bags have arrived.
We spent the next day getting adjusted to the new time zone, exploring a local market, and visiting a nearby orphanage and school. After a busy day, we packed our backpacks and prepared to start our hike first thing in the morning.
Loading our backpacks on the van. It's going to take us to the Machame gate. We've stopped for 5 minutes or so to buy some things.
At the Machame gate of Kilimanjaro National Park, we had to begin the routine of signing a logbook at every campsite on the 7-day hike.
Our guide was Jerome, one of the Kilimanjaro Chaga people, known for their ability to thrive in high altitudes.
His crew of about 15 was an assortment of local men who worked part-time as porters and cooks. From day one, my name to them was Mama, not Sherry. The trail started out in the rainforest, and it was hot and muggy. As we ascended the path, it became steep immediately.
Straight up. We've been hiking straight up for hours and hours.
By day 3, we found ourselves higher than we'd ever been before, above 14,000 feet, and we reached the amazing lava tower.
Here we are hiking over the alpine desert.
This is taller than we've ever been right now.
I could really tell there was less oxygen in the air, and noticed while I never got sick, I became more sluggish. The guides encouraged us to go pole pole, which means slowly, and had me set the pace.
It also became extremely cold and was below freezing most of the time. Our crew moved the entire camp each day.
Breakfast is in the brown tent, right there. And they have good porridge every day. They bring a tray around to each tent and serve you warm coffee in the morning, which of course doesn't help us keep to our schedule. The trail took us up and then down, and again up and then again down, with the purpose of getting us acclimated to the higher altitudes. We had to be prepared for a daily dose of cold rain or snow and be ready to take off layers if it got warm. Because it gets really hot once the sun is on you and you're hiking. But then if the clouds roll in or you stop really to rest for a while, you get really cold.
On day 4, after spending a very cold night, we climbed the Barranco Wall, a steep and difficult climb. We had to be very careful to get a good grip on the rock and not lean back for fear that our backpacks might pull us off balance and cause us to fall off the cliff. To get us through this scary climb, we tried to focus only on the next handhold and foothold.
We made it to the top of the wall!
It was also important to drink a lot of water, thirsty or not, and feed our body nutritious food, hungry or not, to give us the continued stamina and strength we needed. This was not just a one-day push, but 7 days of using our bodies completely to the near limits.
On the 5th day, we hiked to the Barafu camp and rested a few hours after dinner. We were all very nervous because these were the last few hours before we started our summit attempt. It's about 10 o'clock. Wind, it's so windy you can just hear it whistling around. I have our warmest clothes on, my ski pants on, and I have long underwear under them. Our packs are packed ready to go. Water bottles turned upside down so the mouths don't freeze. Let's go.
Being so cold and moving in the complete darkness was scary. We had to trust our guides because of the complete darkness. We couldn't even see the immense, steep summit 4,000 feet above us, to be discouraged by how far away it was and how steep it was. We couldn't get distracted and frightened by steep drop-offs that may lay on either side of us. We had to focus only in the circle of light from our headlamps and the boots of the guide in front of us as we climbed the steep ascending volcanic rock. After 7+ hours of hiking through the night, we finally made it to Stella Point right before sunrise. Now the summit was only about an hour away. We suddenly realized how tired we were, and with the strong wind, it was difficult to keep balanced.
I was using hiking poles and I couldn't put my hands in my pockets, so my hands were frighteningly cold. We could not stop moving though, or we would freeze. There was very little oxygen in the air, the temperature was below 0, and the wind was very strong.
On this last stretch, it seemed like all we could do was just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And finally, we were at the summit. The sun was shining brightly by now. We were so excited to have actually made it. The freezing wind was blowing, the thin air made it almost impossible to speak.
We're waiting by the sign to take our turn.
And the scene was chaotic. We needed to get pictures quickly because stopping too long meant freezing.
The view from the summit was stunning. It was very emotional as we realized we had finally achieved our dream together.
The hike down was also incredibly difficult because we were so exhausted and because the volcanic rock skidded out from under us and the volcanic dust was incredible. It got in our eyes, making them burn. Being exhausted after hiking all night, the steep descent back to Barafu camp was very difficult.
After a meal and only a short nap there, we needed to break camp and hike down 6 more miles to the final campsite. The hike was through a steep creek bed with jagged, treacherous rocks at every step. We had to be extremely careful so as not to turn an ankle or slip. We finally arrived at Camp Moika after 18 hours of almost continuous hiking.
On day 7 morning, we celebrated as our crew sang and danced Kilimanjaro songs for us. And then we descended the final part of the trail, signed the final park register log to officially complete the record, and we were presented with a certificate proving we had summited Mount Kilimanjaro.
We celebrated by treating some of our crew to lunch in town and ate ugali, a Tanzanian favorite, with a traditional Kilimanjaro beer.
Many valuable lessons were learned at every step of the way, such as preparation is a key.
You can achieve even what seems insurmountable by taking one step at a time.
Take the right path.
Stay in the beam of light to keep you from straying treacherously off the path.
It can't be done alone. It's a team effort, but you have to do your part.
A challenging adventure shared forever unites those who have experienced it.